Hey everybody, it's Joey, Value TCG. Hope everyone is having a good day and a good week. Well, welcome back to another video. So today we are going to be talking about some of the bulk cards that are starting to move or have moved. And, these are cards that, unless you were looking to experiment with or play in a deck in the future, probably should just take out of your bulk. I'm actually going through my bulk right now, and there's a lot of things that I think are starting to, at least for me, make sense to sell. So we're going to talk about that today. So before I do that, like, comment, and subscribe. Really do appreciate your support. So first of all, we are going to talk about Mr. Wanda's bones. So I would just say that EBO1 is the gift that keeps giving. I know we have EBO2 coming out, and it makes me wonder whether I should order. And again, just a number of those booster boxes because first of all, EBO1, the booster box itself continues to be very strong in value. I think it's around $240. Now that there's a few more listings out there, it was closer to $300. But stuff like this is the reason why, right? Just out of nowhere, Mr. Wenda's Bones, I guess, getting ready for the next set. I mean, now it's close to $2 a card, which I think is absolutely crazy considering this was a 20-cent card just back in November. And along that theme, Sanji also EBO1. Um, Look, I mean, this should be really a much cheaper card. Yeah, October, 30 something cents. Now it's over $1 and still moving, right? There's just a couple of copies out there. There really is just some resistance at a buck 69 with three to after that a few more copies. So I mean, this card is also moving up. Another card to think about taking out of your side. And a lot of green is starting to move up, and it is due to meta rotation and experimentation behind that. And then sugar, so sweet as our boy Adam Levine from Maroon 5 saith. So sugar. This one had been really struggling to make moves, right? I mean, it was down. I mean, at release, it was a couple bucks and went all the way down to 60 cents. Now it's at $3 or almost $3, right? After these four copies, it's solidly within that three numbers. So just something to kind of keep in mind. Looking at flow through, you're looking at 10-ish copies moving a day, so that's really good movement. Actually, 13th, a lot more moved that day. So just again, cards that are moving due to meta rotation. I think Dofi has been a really good deck for a long time now. For blue, I think Don Quixote Pirates. I do wonder if they're going to make a couple of more leaders with Don Quixote as the main theme behind it. So I think it is a very popular, I guess, theme. I mean, a lot of people like Don Quixote or Rocinante. It's like, one of my friend's favorite characters. So, I think there's a lot more to do there. I wouldn't be surprised if one day they make Green Don Quixote or something like that as a um, dominant color. You know, Bandai is very weird like that, where they tend to randomly favor certain colors over others, right? We've seen black be absolutely dominant, and then now we're seeing, blue Dofi, and then now yellow starting to rotate back. So things do kind of switcheroo here and there, and purple, obviously, with purple Luffy, as well as the new release, right? The 6,000 Luffy hero, the blue purple, or leader, I should say. So that's getting a lot of brain juices going, and that's moving a lot of prices as well. But I think I would just say that along that vein, I do think green could come back at some point, um, and we'll see, right? I digress. I totally digress there. So moving onwards to the next card, Gum Gum Rain from Paramount War. Paramount War. Who would have thought? So this card used to be a couple dollars if you didn't sell it back then. Here's another opportunity. It's moving above at $1 to slightly above $1. I would just say largely any rares that are moving above $1 is a good price to consider selling. There's just not that many cards that are going to be like really the next card, Charlotte Flambe, um, where you have a rare that's $6, right? Um, Another card from EVO1 that just continues to be um, more and more and more expensive. You know, if we look, right, she peaked out at 7, so went all the way down to $4, and now we're back up to over $6. So that's why I kind of want to talk about this one. And really, after just a couple sales here, two really, you're going to $7. That's crazy. Usopp from Pillars of Strength. This is an SR, but this is an SR that, if you can see, has just been on a very, very steady Eddie trajectory. Now at $2. Yeah, I mean it was really an afterthought. It is interesting. It had that little pop, in uh, I guess a month ago. Do you wonder if people were kind of theory crafting with the new Usopp leader, that he would be good, and that just didn't really go anywhere, or at least we haven't really seen it um, in Japan just yet. So who knows? Who knows? Like maybe it'll be a bigger move here in the U.S. to play that Usopp leader. Uh, Another one, Hitokiri Kamazo from Wings of the Captain. I know it says it's not over $1 just yet, but it has been selling over $1. So there's a couple copies here at 80 cents, but largely most of the copies are around $1. This is, I think, a pretty good card. 2K counter, four costs, 5,000. And then, once per turn, you have a nice effect of a potential KO if, something's returned to your deck. If you're playing around, moving a Dawn back to your Dawn deck, I mean, this is very, very usable on a very consistent basis. So just something to think about. Charlotte Linlin. This card is starting to move up because of the OP11 leaks of that Luffy that I was just talking about. There are ways of playing into the OP06 Sanji and cheesing her out. Who knows? Who knows how that's going to go? I mean, if that Luffy, that OP11 Luffy does end up being very playable, I mean, she's going to be, I think, pretty core to that deck because, let me just flip this over to you, right? This Luffy only has 3 life. So when you're only at 3 life, this card you can use to save yourself, right? And I think that's very powerful. Although 3 life is definitely harder to play with, as we can see, you know, as we've seen, like really some of the best leaders have all been 5 life for good reason. It just gives you that stability. You don't really have to worry about, oh, well, if I, let's say play Charlotte Linlin, I might not be able to play somebody else, right? Which could get me to a potential win. So it's just something to kind of think about. But I don't know. I mean, 6K leaders. We'll see. We'll see if that can be a dominant archetype. And then Onami with yellow starting to kind of rotate back, OP11. This is, or OP10, I should say, with that coming out soon. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if Onami makes a return. She really hasn't been winning that many tournaments in Japan, so we'll see if she does take up a slot in decks here in the West, if you will. And at a buck, kind of reasonable to sell, right? When she, like, really after she was released, I mean, she was around that dollar, a couple dollars, and then yeah, like thousands of items sold. Like she was used in many decks back then, and then just kind of faded, went all the way down to 40 cents. Now we're over a dollar. Would definitely consider selling her. And then lastly, Gum Gum Giant, Emperors in the New World. So this one I thought it was really interesting, right? This is a rare that is in the set that was just released, and this rare is holding value over a buck. Take that how you will. I mean, maybe they'll reprint OP09 a lot, and I think they will continue. I mean, I think reprints are going through this month. I know somebody who just got delivery of at least a few cases. He runs an LGS. And, I think this price might come down. So if you already have a few of these on hand, consider selling this because I do think prices will come down. And as, you open more boxes, right? If you just paid 100 and, 15 bucks for that OPO 9 booster box, you might get one or two of these. So I think it makes sense to sell this, but it is, purple is a very strong archetype in OP10 and obviously now in OP9. So, I think that, it makes sense why it's valuable, but definitely reasonable to, consider getting rid of, right? Now, I think that's wow, yeah, look, a couple dollars just today. That's crazy. Um, Anyways, so just something to keep an eye on. Um, I wanted to just do this video because, yeah, I can talk about the more expensive cards, but a lot of people don't have those cards when, I think most people have most of these cards, right? Somewhere in your bulk. I tend to do it's a more of a fun process for myself and my wife. We sometimes just go through my bulk. I'm just like, hey, honey, like, yeah, let's get some Chipotle burrito money here. And I end up going through my bulk yeah, I don't know, every couple of months or so and just pick out a bunch of cards that previously were worth nothing, like literally zero, or like 20 cents, 10 cents, and then eke out enough for, 30, 40 bucks. So I think that's kind of a fun thing for me to do, and for really us to do in our household. And I wonder if you guys do that as well. Maybe once you see this video, it is something that you'll get to bring to your routine as well. Um, anyways. So that's really it from me, guys. I mean, I wanted to make a shorter video this time. I think I might do a video on the SPs that are moving. And just a heads up, SPs are moving higher, kind of across the board, which has been pretty surprising to me. I do wonder if how much of that is because of money that's exiting Pokemon because of, look, like Pokemon's really, really hot. A lot of people are making a lot of money from Pokemon. So I wonder if people are either one, taking that money and coming back to One Piece, which I think does make sense because you don't really play Pokemon as a thing. You just kind of collect the cards, maybe sell some cards, and that's it. Or if it's just people who, because Pokemon's gone so expensive, they're leaving that hobby and coming back to One Piece and collecting, right? So both of those kind of make sense to me. let me know what you guys think. Let me know which one you guys think makes sense. And let me know if this video is helpful for you guys. Um, if you want to see that video that I have coming up on SP prices moving. Anyways, thanks so much for the time. Hope you guys are having a great day and great week. And like, comment, subscribe. And we will talk to you next time.